Good day, everyone. This is Oszlai, the musical financial doctor, and today's guest is my beautiful friend, Miss Antonia de Wolf. She's a piano virtuoso, an accompanist, a concert pianist, and an amazing musical piano teacher. She actually is, very, very mainly responsible for my children's love of music, and specifically for my daughter. You have been teaching her, since she was 5, and today it's my pleasure to showcase you. Antonia, how are you doing?
Great. I'm so happy to see you, and thank you for giving me that opportunity.
My pleasure. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your journey to become a piano virtuoso, a concert pianist, an accompanist, piano teacher, and so many, many other things?
So I started at the age of 6 in Romania. My mom is a piano teacher, but I had other teachers as well. And I had the great opportunity when I was 12 in grade 7 to study at the Central School of Music in Moscow for gifted children, which was one of the best at the time in Europe and one of the best in the world. And I had a great opportunity, and I met a lot of amazing musicians, and being amongst them stimulated me to practice more and to develop as a musician.
That's amazing.
After I moved to Italy, Accademia Nazionale Santa Cecilia in Rome, where I studied with Sergio Perticaroli. And it gave me a different perspective in terms of technique, in terms of working for the sound, the touch. He was always accentuating the way you touch the piano. So you have to caress it. You don't go like this, you go like this. And how to explore more the sound than the quality of the sound. In Russia, it was more about the mood, the expression. And in Italy was the more refined, more subtle.
So basically, you were able to learn different styles and then basically create your own. That's amazing.
Yes,
Very
yeah,
good.
later. And I studied at the University of Toronto as well. And I have a bachelor and master degree from University of Toronto with Professor Marietta Orlov.
Excellent, excellent, very good. So tell us, what makes you the ideal piano teacher, for anybody's friends, child, teenager, even adults?
I think the first thing is the ability to adapt to everyone's needs, to speak the same language as the person. In order to speak to a teenager, you have to speak their language and awaken the love and passion for music. And also a very important point is the music instruction. It's not related strictly to piano teaching. You have to explore the history, the historical context, the arts, the literature, everything that was going on at the period of the composition that was written. So it's very important that you don't relate strictly to piano teaching, but develop the student as a rounded person. And that's also valid for adults, for children, and for teenagers. I don't make any difference between teaching young children in this term. Like I always give them a broad understanding of music and how it was created, as opposed to strictly relate to technical aspects.
Amazing. So basically, what I'm hearing is that when someone is taking lesson with you, they are going on a time travel to really go into the era and understanding the piece, and so that they are able to really, give it all. Correct?
Correct. That's correct.
Very good. So tell us a little bit about what type of experience puts you into a superior position when it comes to instruction.
Well, one of the things is I was a performer at first. I was a concert pianist. I'm a concert pianist. So I'm able to exemplify every single piece of music, and I'm able to show them what I would like them to do. So every time I show them, I back it up with exemplifying. And
That's
also,
yeah. Sorry, just talk.
Yeah, and I also perform, especially for the young children. At the end of the lesson, I leave 5 minutes and I perform them a piece of classical music that is not related to the lesson, just to broaden their knowledge of music and
Absolutely.
to inspire them.
You know what? You are extremely inspirational. I really must say that, your resume is just unbelievable. And back in the days, when we were looking for a teacher, when my daughter was about to turn 5, your resume was really speaking volumes. And looking back, I mean, it was a jackpot to choose you as her teacher, because her love of music is definitely something that you help to nurture. It's not just, her tech and everything else and the knowledge, but the love of music. So I can testify firsthand, how amazing you are. And not only that, also as a concert pianist, we have actually experienced you when you were playing with the Kindred Spirits Orchestra at the Markham Flatto Theater as their solo pianist, as well as, you happen to be the classical star pianist for the Toronto Women's Expo Charity Gala, which is scheduled for next March in the Paradise Bucket Hall in One. So you are giving back so much, and you're giving so much love to the music. So that's absolutely amazing. And tell us a little bit about the accompanist positions that you have, because you are also doing recordings for other artists and accompanying them on concerts. So tell us a little bit about that as well, since that's part of your concert pianist journey.
So when I came to Toronto 22 years ago, I had a great experience to meet a great tenor that previously worked with Canadian Opera Company, and he had his own opera company. So I started to work with singers. So that was like the second love. The first love, of course, it's solo piano, but the second love was working with singers, because only human voice can portray sometimes the phrasing. Even I tell my students, imagine that you're singing this. So that opened actually a new horizons even for me as a soloist by accompanying singers. And I've done recordings for people. I accompanied last year at Casa Loma. I prepared an entire opera and for Toronto Concert Orchestra, and that was a great Italiana in Alger was the name of the opera by Rossini, and it was a great experience.
I love it. Very good. So let's go back to the teaching experience, because that's how anyone and everyone can actually access you as an amazing teacher. So now during this COVID era, so what is it that's something that is better that you can offer to the students than, let's say, others?
I adapted to the online teaching. And it was actually hard for me because I'm not really good at technology. But once I learned the technology, I found it really useful, because we both sit at the piano. I can exemplify. I have this iPad that I never used before for scores. So I can follow the score with the iPad. I can tell them exactly in which bar. I have the ability to see their hands. So it's almost like teaching in person. So I really adapted to the online teaching, and I was quite successful at it during COVID. Well, I wish COVID never happened, of course, but in order to be successful, it's not about being good, but in order to adapt to a new situation and make the best of it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And what I love, you showed us the iPad, but of course, you are looking at a camera as well. So there are, a multitude of different technical aspects involved that you have set up to be able to successfully teach, the children or the adults as well. So that's amazing. Kudos to you. Now, with regards to the technique, okay, so what expertise in technique places you in an opportunistic position to instruct students? So tell us a little bit about that.
Because I studied in different countries, I learned different ways of technique, the finger technique, the arm technique, the wrist technique. So I've been exposed to different techniques. In Russia was more a heavier approach. In Italy was more finger technique. In Canada, I learned a combination of technique. But my point is very important, because everyone's body is built different. So there are no two people that are built the same way. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to adapt the technique for the specific student. So I'm not telling them, oh, you have to do it that way. Or I give them various ways to do it and say, find your own way that suits you. Like I give them 2 or 3 different type of fingerings. I said, try this fingering, try this fingering. Try going with your arm, try going with your wrist. of course, I tell them what I think is best for them, but I give them a little bit of choice and liberty. And also in the old days, that I consider very important, because in the old days, the teacher would say, well, go practice and learn it. I don't care. Just come and memorize it. I want everything to be perfect. But in our era, when everybody's extremely busy, like we have so many things running around, we have work, we have meetings, nobody can sit at the piano anymore for 6 hours. So what I'm trying to do, I try to find technical solutions for each complicated passage that will save time, and it will make it well in a short period of time if you have the right technical approach.
Absolutely. And you know what, again, my testimonial right here and now, you know, your ability to very quickly, you know, look at a score, a completely strange score that you've never seen before, and immediately, you know, making sense of it and actually decrypt it and how, you know, it will sound best in terms of the technique. That's impressive. And I even personally remember when I had to ask you, okay, so what do you recommend on this particular piece that I was practicing, and just immediately you gave me the solution. So thank you for that. So you're really impressive. Now, with regards to the students, so looking at the students' abilities, so what do you think, what abilities each student have just to become successful or really excel in their progress?
So I think every student has the ability to become successful. Of course, for some people it's easier, for some people it's harder. Some people have more oral skills, some people have more analyzing skills, sight reading skills. Everyone is different. For some people it's easy right away, some have to work harder at it. But you know, sometimes people that have to work harder, they pay more attention to details, and sometimes they achieve higher results than the people that are extremely talented. So I don't believe that there are students that are made to play piano or students that have no hope. I do not believe in that. I believe everyone is able to learn how to play piano and to make music.
That's awesome. Very good. And you're very patient as well. And like, you know, as you mentioned, you know, the fact that you're really stretching their horizons by, you know, putting in your artistic abilities, that really, really helps for people to absorb what you mean. So then, you know, looking at it, like, what is the real potential, or how do you see, you know, a child's potential? Because even though you said that, you know, you don't believe that someone is not caught to do it and someone is born, but then again, some people are a bit more talented than others. So
Of
what
course.
is then the potential? How do you see it?
Well, I have to have a few lessons with a student, and I see how they react to my instruction. If I see their interest. You know, sometimes I have children that are extremely talented, but they're not interested. But they're so talented. They have natural sense of phrasing, natural expression. But you know, they're still young and they don't want to practice. They don't want to do it. But the main point is to awaken the love of music, as you said.
Absolutely. That's very good. So now, you know, when you are teaching, so what is absolutely the most important component to convey for the students that you are meeting?
Yeah, the most important point, as I said, is the love of music, the development of each piece in the era, as well as the technique. But the most important element in order to get the student interested and to make him progress well is to perpetuate the love of music.
Absolutely, and you're full of love, and you really became such an amazing friend, you know, over the years. So I feel absolutely honored, you know, to have you in our lives and enriching our lives, our family's life. Now, on that note, you know, you're an amazing piano teacher, and I really want to make sure that you know, my network is able to reach out to you and learn more about how to get in touch with you and perhaps help them with their musical education or their children's musical education or their families or themselves, even if they are adults. But at the same time, because you really bring so much love and knowledge and everything else as a concert pianist and an accompanist, you know, those musicians who are in my network and want to connect with you, I really encourage anyone and everyone to reach out to Antonia as well, and, you know, just explore collaboration opportunities, because I mean, it's amazing. So Antonia, why don't you tell us what's your best availability for anyone to reach out to you?
My best availability is during weekday mornings. You can email me at antonia.devolf@rogers.com, and I'll reply as soon as I get the email, as soon as I have time to get the email. So the best time to reach me is our weekday mornings until early afternoon.
Perfect. Very good. Antonia, thank you so much for this. And then for those of you who still have time to listen in, we will be blending in, one of her plays from Chopin, and I hope you will enjoy it. So thank you so much for your time today, Antonia, and have an absolutely beautiful day.
Thank you so much.